All
Oh,
right,
wow.
I have unmuted myself and now we are on video, Counselor. It's your
Okay.
meeting.
All righty, I'm going to call this this Personnel and Finance Committee meeting to order. Thank you for the agendas, Steve.
Welcome.
Let's do the roll call. Mr. Counselor Rich.
I'm here.
Excellent. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Long time. Mr. Mayor.
I'm here.
Excellent. Mr. City Administrator Steve.
Present.
Excellent. I'm here. All right, so let's start with our new business, new hires.
Yay. We were just talking about you. Thank you all very, very much for doing this. Was a little different format. My intent was to stay up front and just greet people and just see, you always get people to talk about everything.
Yeah.
And I did. And you get a little bit more to know about them than they would in a formal interview because they think this is all very informal, but in reality it was part of the deal.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, though, all of you picked some very nice candidates. We will be starting with the utility workers tomorrow afternoon.
Great.
I asked Dawn to give me 1 hour blocks.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you say starting with follow-up interviews or
Correct.
I don't know if I'll be there, if I can make that. Is that
Really, it was for myself.
Oh, okay.
And the
Mark.
second, and for Mark and Dawn
okay?
to sit down, and these are technical questions.
Okay, got it.
So we'll be asking things about
I'm going to try
accounting.
to go ahead. I'm sorry.
We'll be asking things about accounting. We'll be asking things about utility work, about what would happen if, we want to get a good sense for, their awareness of the work environment.
Yeah.
Also, it's a good opportunity. Some of the questions are worded in a way that, for the first question, now that you know a little bit about this,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Are you
Which
still
gives us
interested?
gives me an opportunity to do follow-on questions
Mhm,
based upon their answers
mhm.
that might delve a little bit more into what they want. I think it was noted that one of the folks that were calling back was a little surprised at the 30-hour week, maybe thought it was 40. So they did want to come back, but we will ask.
Yeah.
You understand this is up to a 20 to 30-hour job. I made it. I said, we'll make it flexible.
Yeah.
That was for the office or for the?
Office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Administrative
this is
assistant.
something a specifically set in case, but she agreed to come back in. I mean,
Good.
Call back. Okay.
That's great.
so
Okay.
the two utility guys, like I told Counselor Rich, it's just, sorry, we couldn't hire both.
Yeah.
They're just two very nice, good individuals. I think all very moldable.
Mhm.
Both would want to be here, would want to move
Right.
with the city.
Oh, I wish we could hire them both.
Well.
I know we didn't budget for it.
Heck with the
I think it'd be
budget.
hard to defend that to the library right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I'm hoping that by Thursday afternoon, we will
Great.
have a
Offers.
couple of offers.
That's excellent.
So I write up letters, formalize the offer, let them know what their starting wages will be
Yeah.
and everything else. If they sign it, then we're in business. And then we'll
Excellent.
settle on a starting date.
All right.
For the utility workers, we do give an offer for 50 cents an hour for certifications, not a test.
Mhm.
So as soon as they get certified, whether it takes one test or two tests or whatever, then they get an extra 50 cents an hour differential.
Yep.
And we'll make that as part of their job offer.
And if they get certain things, then they may move up to a grade to a utility 2 or something
That's
like
correct. So if a person shows, gets their, for instance, they get their wastewater 1 and wastewater collections,
that. Mhm.
which would, as the minimum for being a direct responsible
CRC.
charge, then
Mhm.
yeah, we certainly would at that point say, you're utility 2.
Yeah,
You
because
can,
they were asking about utility 2 and utility 3, and I was like, well, we haven't got one of those yet, but basically, when you're certified to a certain degree, I mean, we would move
Yeah,
you
we
up
would have a
because
right.
you have to have the qualifications for that.
So Mark, who's had 4 years now, coming up on 4 years with us, if he were to get both his wastewater 1, which he should have here shortly, so as the state gets done processing,
Mhm.
and his collections, then he would be qualified and I would move him to, I would recommend to council to move him to
Awesome.
utility 3.
Oh, that's great.
Excellent.
So good to have a career ladder.
Yeah, and then other folks that are coming on can see that there is progression. That,
Mhm.
Right.
you're not just stuck here picking up trash for the rest of your career.
Opportunities for growth and advancement.
Mhm.
Cool.
So on the other side, on the administrative assistant side, the idea with this is actually moving everyone up a little bit. Currently, Dawn is doing the accounting and that type of thing. I've noticed over the last several months, year, working with her, not just several months, but a year, that, and doing a little bit of experimentation. She has a lot of talent in other
Mm.
areas than accounting.
Mm.
And I'm not even sure that accounting is really, she does it, but she can do a lot more.
Nice.
And so with that in mind, and the administrative assistant, as we discussed, I would like the administrative assistant to start taking over the clerk roles that
Mhm.
Donna's doing.
Mhm.
Initially under, under her direction.
Mhm.
And that would also include SOPs. We've,
Mhm.
since I've been up front, I've said, okay, so what happens when this happens? So, oh my God, we identified several areas in the SOPs that need to be taken care of. But importantly, I would like Dawn to start doing some of the deputy city recorder type activities.
Mhm.
It takes about 5 years
Wow.
in the city recorder world to know enough about state law,
Wow.
meetings and everything else to move to that area.
Mhm.
I've also encouraged her to become a member of the Oregon City Recorder Association.
Right.
So that
Cool.
she can start seeing those things and also be involved in minute taking. She answers a lot of phones regardless, but I would also start giving her information about some of the initial planning things. So when people want to know about setbacks and all that, she can email them and coordinate that. It's going to be an important part because we're getting a lot more permits and that
Mhm.
type of thing. And she would be the front person to manage that process.
Mhm.
Rather than just deal with accounts payables and all
Mhm.
that. So moving her up a little bit and doing a little bit more analysis. I've been working with her over the last year on analysis of information. I just don't want to know
Mhm.
what we're paying or
Right.
what we just paid. I need to know, all right, now track this. Give me a, linear regression, but um, Excel does that extremely well. You just
Mm.
simply give it a trend line and it'll do the linear regression for you and give you a straight line and tell you what your projections are. So I've been working with her on some of that upper level analysis,
Mhm.
which is really important so that, those things can be tracked and managed. It's been a lot of work getting up to this point, but at my level, then that frees me to be doing more of the administrative things, particularly the planning pieces, which
Mhm.
at this point are jumping out of the window at me.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we need to be on top of that. And the higher level things that have just sometimes escape, and we need to be able to be on top. And it's hard, if not impossible at this point with the regulatory atmosphere that's out there, to not get behind. So I'm trying to, this is the progression of those new hires. So hopefully within a few months, I think that any of the candidates on either side within a few months should be moving quickly. I'm really confident with this group.
Awesome.
If you get an admin that lives close enough in, I wonder if they would be able to do. When are you guys busiest? Is it like first thing in the morning and like towards the end of the day when everyone is, or is there not really a?
There really isn't. It depends on the time of the month. So
This week.
for instance, this week from an admin viewpoint is heavy because we're getting ready for council. Next week, and then we'll be a little more, we have meter reads. And so we have, as Dawn transitions from
So then it's doing
meter
the
reads
bills
and
and
then that,
folding and.
and then we'll have kind of a week where we're just folding bills and that
Yeah.
type of thing. It's, it's a kind of an easy week, and most people are not coming in to pay bills because now they're late.
Yeah.
And Dawn's sending out her love letters.
yeah.
And then towards the end of the week, it just drops off. Now, the
Mhm.
first week of the month and second week is when people come in and pay their bills.
Yeah.
So those are now the mornings between noon and about 4:30 are the busiest. And then it slacks off the third week. Third week is when we try to get internal projects taken care of. Then we ramp up for the meter reads and start the
Mm.
process over again.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does vary, but that's kind of the cycle. First 2 weeks are busy, middle weeks, we prep for the fourth week, which is getting ready for council and bills and all that, and then
Mhm.
repeat.
Yeah.
Repeat, rinse, repeat.
Mornings up till 10 o'clock are very, very quiet. So Dawn comes in at 8 and works
There's also like all the administrative stuff for like
She-
processing payments.
processing
and-
payments,
taking stuff to the
checking the
bank and all
bank,
that, yeah.
checking the bank accounts, any kind you have to do reconciliation,
Yeah.
that kind of more heavy duty thinking stuff happens between 8 and 10.
Mhm.
At 10 o'clock is when we might start getting our first few folks in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or phone calls on Mondays will come in at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So this person allowed Dawn to do a little bit more of the thinking stuff.
Discretion.
And then
Yeah,
also
right.
some of the
Also,
things that
like
helps me.
minutes and stuff like that. I mean, you
Right.
really can't be like, yeah, you have to.
I do have to do them at home. It's the only way I can get them. There's no way in the world I can get them done in the office. It's just too hectic.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
Or I have to go over, that's what I'm hoping with the other part is the water plant. Now, today we got number 2 back online. You
Woo.
probably weren't aware that it was down. We had a
We heard that in an interview today.
Yeah, the blower motor was actually melted wires. And we believe that may have been the cause of all those errors we've had over the last year or so.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
And so so we pulled all the wires out to double check to make sure nothing else was melted. Because there's filter pumps and all sorts of other things in there in the conduit raceways. And I got everything put back together, and Mark had put the blower motor in, and I think he's the only person that could probably fit back there to finish it.
Mm.
I did the upfront wiring, he did the back end wiring, and we got it, and we ran it. Found another problem, but that got fixed, but we have number 2 back online.
Excellent.
good.
Thank
So
you.
those now, if I were not here, you would have to have called Northwest Electric or a
Mhm. Electrician.
someone who's familiar with industrial
Yeah.
electricity out here to finish the wiring up.
Mm.
So it wasn't wiring in the motor, like it wasn't like the coils in the motor or something like that.
We
that-
believe what happened is that the blower motor, this is the one that back flushes the membranes. Either the bearings or winding got to a point where the motor was overheating and
Mm.
drawing too much current. The wires melted,
Mm.
and the wires eventually started touching each other.
And then they arc and all that stuff.
Then they just simply
Pipes
blew
up to it.
all three fuses blew
Mhm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So grateful that the
So we
fire
had a
didn't
replacement
result.
Yeah,
motor.
no kidding.
Yes, we had
Oh,
a
okay.
rebuilt one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because usually a lot of those industrial ones, you send them out to get wound or rewound and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So the last time this happened, we had a new spare, and we took that one and sent it off to be rewound. And this is the one that got rewound.
Oh, okay.
The old one was actually what they called there's a 3-phase motor, and the first phase and the third phase had been reversed. But it was blowing correctly. On a 3-phase motor, if you reverse L1 and L3, you'll get it to reverse.
Mm.
So we wired it up the same way, and sure enough, it was reversed. So the other motor wasn't wired correctly to begin with.
Oh, geez. Whoops.
So,
Oh, boy.
and it appears as though other people have been in there with the wiring at some other point in time in the past.
Mm.
So
Finagling with it.
hopefully this
Yeah.
has been rebuilt to the point and rewired correctly so that it is now.
Well, and we'll still be
Function.
using the membranes. It's just that they won't be worked as hard with the new system because there won't be as much solids in the,
Hoping that it won't be as much solids in there and we can run it under wider ranges without creating the DPDs.
Hmm.
Although we've been very good with DPDs up to this point.
Okay. Good.
So that's your new hires. Very,
Thank you.
very hopeful that this would be as some good steps for the city,
That's awesome.
moving us forward.
City administrator is our next topic.
Oh, that's just the usual.
So I wanted
Stuff.
to suggest something.
Mhm.
Sure.
So you said August of next year. You and
Mhm.
Lynn are gonna go on a wonderful trip.
Going to wonderful trip for
Okay.
about 3 weeks.
So going backwards a little bit, what if we try and work so that you're done and ready to go June 30th, the end of the fiscal year?
Mhm.
And then working backwards, we start working on finding someone for you, maybe the first quarter of next year.
Mhm.
And then they can train with you and work towards that June 30th date.
Sure, I would say that, and I would say that, and that's fine.
Okay. Just want to make sure it
Yeah.
seemed reasonable.
I think that you will want to start talking to, to somebody probably in the February timeframe,
Right.
start getting things out in the March timeframe.
Mhm,
And
Right.
it's going to take a while to
Yeah.
bring someone in.
mhm,
And then, because they're all probably going to be in jobs anyway,
Right.
Mhm.
and
Takes
then
time.
you might have to go through a couple different iterations.
Mhm,
I mean, like, for instance, as an example, Crook County is still looking
Ugh.
for their manager, their first county manager,
Right.
which I kind of smile because I know a great deal about, because I was building over there.
Well, there is some administration turnaround with, or turnover with, election season, so.
There will be.
Some-
and-
Yeah.
and
So it's
people will be
possible that
looking,
some people may be
ready
let
to
go
go.
because,
Because the council has
Well,
decided.
yeah.
Yeah, there's city administrators up north that have been flipping around too. It's kind of humorous.
Dayton lost theirs, and then
Yeah.
someone else comes from I think Sheridan or someplace.
Yeah,
And I
and
know
it-
it's like they're
it's kinda-
incestuous up there.
Right. It's like
Everyone
okay,
shares each other's cities
Right. It's all
administrators.
right.
If
So
the
related
council
to
was
that-
all retired, we could just we could just say, to hell with it. We don't need a city administrator. And we could all just like,
There you
Just like how
go.
it used to be, right?
Oh, that's right. This has been done before.
Wait a minute.
Related to the city administrator hire, I think we still need to work on updating your PD. I know you probably haven't had time with that.
I
but-
really haven't. Now, it's the other part of it is the personnel handbook, which I actually just broke out the other day as well.
Okay,
Those are both two things that are needed to
Okay.
kind of come together. Now that we get these hires, I was focusing on the hires.
oh, that makes
Oh,
sense,
Yeah,
yeah.
getting their
Okay.
job descriptions and questions and
Yeah.
this process done before we
Yeah,
and then move on to my part and then start looking at that so that we have a good idea what that means before you go out for.
I think the
Do you-
PD was separated between
It
water
was,
and
and we
Yeah.
have that
between
something.
your hats, I thought.
Yeah,
well, but I think what we wanted to do is tease out not what you're doing, but what we need to have done.
that's really what your next, and that's the reason why this is actually on the agenda. Is that's really your next step is to
Right.
start thinking about what you want your city administrator to do.
Mhm.
The hope is that you have your front office and your utility stable.
Mhm.
Because your next city administrator will know something about the front office, obviously.
Sure,
But they won't, but from a utility viewpoint, they will be like Rick Honbaum.
right.
That was actually his biggest fear, he told me, was he
Yeah.
didn't know a damn thing about, he said, I don't know a damn thing about utilities.
We need someone that has city planning familiarity, right? A little
Yeah,
bit.
you probably want someone that understands the planning function is
Mm-hmm.
important.
Right.
Ordinances, how city meetings go together.
Mhm.
Have worked in a small town. Small towns are
Yeah, it's a
much
lot-
different than big
Yes.
towns.
Absolutely.
Where you might say our neighbor just to the north,
Mhm.
who layers themselves with directors and managers and
So many
foremen and
mid-managers.
superintendents and they do not understand really.
Yeah.
And that individual has never worked in a small city before.
Right.
What about somebody that's like super green that we might be able to afford, that basically we would be a stepping stone for them, like someone out of like the rare program that, after they graduate.
I feel like we
Um,
need some, I like that idea. I'm sorry to cut you off. I like that idea, but I feel like because we're a small town and with a very small staff and the whole multiple hats thing, like I think we want someone who can do a little bit of everything or has been exposed.
Mhm, yes.
But I think somebody greener in their career is a good idea. Maybe just not a
Well, I just know
graduate.
because, a lot of these are like, it's, the whole, they want experience, but then like, nobody wants to pay for the experience. And then,
We want someone
which
that'll stay
if we
though.
can't afford the.
You need someone who's has some experience.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
took,
definitely.
I'm not a stupid individual. And It took me
No.
3 years to learn, get to
Yeah.
a point where I'm
They
learning
need
it.
to have a basic grasp of things
And
here.
and I also had a grasp of
You did.
this before coming here. I
Right.
mean, I understood that.
Yeah,
So
working
getting
for-
someone right
working
out
for
of
the cog.
college
Or
Yeah.
cog, there you go.
is, you're gonna have someone who's going to basically, hopefully you have a whole bunch of city staff to train them.
Mhm.
And that
Yeah,
is not always good for the city staff.
Yeah.
right.
They're gonna feel very much as though this person is in a position of being my supervisor, yet,
I'm telling them how to do their job.
and yet I'm telling them how to do the job.
Yeah.
That can be very dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think we should plan to pay probably at least 100 up to 120. Like,
if you're gonna get a
if-
very experienced
You
person,
need to pay at least 100, I would
Yeah.
assume.
I would have
Yeah.
to assume that right now you're paying me 97,610.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And there are some small cities out in Eastern Oregon, like Maupin, as an example.
Yeah.
So I was looking at just representative,
Mhm.
80,000.
Mhm.
Okay, they didn't find anyone. By the
Yeah,
way.
that's the problem.
You have to encourage someone to live in Maupin. That's part of the problem.
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
You have to
The
pay
next-
extra to
Right.
Yeah.
keep
yeah,
them.
And in this situation, you might find someone in Corvallis,
Mhm.
okay,
right.
which is, likely, maybe, but even if they do live in Corvallis,
Mhm.
How do
unless
we-
they have, I have other retirement that I can leverage.
Yeah.
Another person who's at a career is not gonna be able to leverage that. So yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be difficult.
Yeah.
But the other thing you might think is you might have retirees,
Mhm.
someone who's failed at retirement, who might be willing to
Yeah.
do something. Do they really need to be full-time?
Yeah, I think probably with as much growth as we
Yes.
have.
Yeah,
Yes.
it might be. It might be. But you also might be looking at,
Depends if you boost your administrative staff to people that are.
In the water treatment.
and so you have someone who can be a
Knows
city
recorder stuff,
recorder,
yeah.
and which is, now you can start seeing some of the direction I'm going here with this.
Yeah.
If you do that, and so your front office is more autonomous,
Mhm.
then what you're really looking for is a supervisor,
Mhm.
number one.
Yeah.
Someone who's gonna, because right now, these are, even though we'll have 4 people, they are still 4 independent individuals
Yeah.
with 1 supervisor. So it's a relatively flat
Oh, yeah. definitely.
organization.
Yeah.
So you want someone that has some supervisory, but actually someone that has a lot of good mentoring capability. I think that's probably more important than supervisory. These folks
Yeah.
really don't need to be supervised.
That's a good
No, they
point.
know their jobs.
Yeah.
They know their jobs. What they need is mentoring.
Mhm.
They need someone to come in and say, hey, Mark, give this, here's how you do this, and here's why I'm doing it.
Mm.
And by the way, if these are reversed, it's gonna suck and not blow.
Right.
And it did, it sucked and not
Nice.
blow. It's like, oh, well. So he got a very good lesson
Right.
on something,
Yeah.
some very basic things. And yeah, there's also some other things I do with both staff to help them understand, like this HR. Why, say, when you make the phone calls, make sure you say the same things to each person each time.
Mhm.
Why? So no one can come back and say that you gave someone else a different set of information than me,
Gotta
and
be
therefore I
consistent.
wasn't
Yeah.
hired.
Right.
So you
Yep.
need to, so that.
Dawn
and-
did a great job coordinating interviews.
And she
by the
did,
way.
and that's,
Yeah.
this was a job development thing for her.
She crushed it.
And
Or-
so,
sorry.
so those are the things,
It's
Those
not my
are the-
place to even say it.
You're
those are
funny.
the things that you want in your next city administrator,
Right.
is someone who's going to keep developing your team.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's team development, and because the city, as you point out, is going to grow. It's growing right now. I've got people knocking at Surge, wants me to call.
He's ready.
He's ready.
Ooh,
He
chomping.
wants all the information. Brian Oakes wants his 5 things.
Yeah.
Ross, I got to get back to. Ross wants to, now that he knows this GRB, he wants to put 15 in there instead of 12.
Ooh.
Great. So the city is now
Wow.
moving along. So how do we,
Right.
this is where, so if you go back and look at the Red Hills development,
Mhm.
there was a huge amount of behind the scenes
Yes.
working with contractors, with developers,
Yeah.
with citizens.
Mhm.
Okay, keeping the citizens at bay. I mean, in terms of they not just complained, they sued the city, they sued the process. So your city administrator needs to be familiar
Right,
with that evolution.
right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that, like I said, when I talked about how do people become city administrators? Well, typically they will come from like a political science, which is your precursor to legal. That's where your
Mhm.
lawyers
Right.
typically will start as political science and they'll go get their JD from that point. Also, they go into planning because planning and lawyers are very similar. You
Right.
need a very similar legal
Right.
mind
Use
and being able
interpretation.
to look at the law and
Mhm.
interpret it correctly and know when to, then talk to attorneys.
When to
I do a
apply.
great deal of, as you know, I do a great deal of talking with attorneys, negotiation
Mhm.
of all different kinds, sometimes the soft and sometimes the hard. And so
Mhm.
you want someone who's experienced in that because in a small town, as we just learned, there are bigger fishes that would love to eat us and take
Oh,
advantage
yeah.
of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you
As
don't,
we've recently learned.
as we just,
Oh,
yes,
well,
and
that
it's
was
a great
nothing new,
example.
really.
They want to hurt us
Yeah.
Yeah.
and because they don't care.
Right.
Nope.
They do care. They just don't, they have believed that their world is different than our world. And
More
that they
significant.
they ethically
more
have to
important
deal
than we
with
are.
theirs
Mhm.
than
Yes.
us. And lastly, you need someone who's very ethical. So
Mhm.
what you do not want is someone who's been coughed up from another city because they're escaping some problem or issue.
They're trying to reshape their career.
Career shape their career
We've
by
had,
coming here to reform themselves.
We've had prior experience with that.
Yes, so
So,
that's what you want to do. Now, unlike, like, say, Crook County, which is looking for its first county manager, Crook has been run independent. Every little department has run itself. They have a police department. They
Wow.
have all big public works. They have all the Google. I don't know if you've ever been over to Prineville.
Mm-mm. Oh,
They-
yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, you've seen those giant buildings? They have
It's actually Meta. I thought it was Google. It's
Google,
Meta.
now Meta. Yeah.
Okay,
Meta,
yeah.
Meta, Apple, and someone else. Google is up in the Dalles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
the Googleplex.
Yeah.
They're trying to find a county managers that can work with these independent people.
Oh, boy.
yeah,
And they've been they're on
handful.
6 months now.
Oof.
Trying. I called Prothman because I was very curious because I know
Mhm.
something about that area. And they just said they just can't find someone who is willing that has what's necessary to work with these very independent individuals.
Mhm.
And two, who has the experience to negotiate and work with different individuals without trying to say, this is how I want to do it. And that was my point I was going to make, is that yes, the city administrator does imprint knowledge, but it should be imprinting knowledge through mentoring and helping people achieve those goals, not a top-down approach where they say, you must do this. Because you have some very strong individuals here who do know and have capacity to know their jobs.
Yeah.
And you
Very
don't want to
smart.
have them be packing and go because the new city administrator wants to reform their group the way in their image, which is very typical.
Yeah.
So that's, I think will end up being the challenge, is finding that right individual who can come in and have enough knowledge and experience to grow everyone and help the city at the same time, not have people heading for the door for the next job.
And you said GMP/Prothman could help us with that recruitment.
They can. I would start with them because
Okay.
they're good people to talk to. They have a
Okay.
huge amount of knowledge of small cities. You'll
Okay.
note in their portfolio that they have a lot of Maupin,
Yeah.
Crook County,
Okay.
a lot of folks that are very similar to the culture and spirit of Monroe.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It's not that they don't do bigger cities too.
Right.
And it's maybe a little easier in that because they need bureaucrats and this city does not.
Right. We're a little more working class, not old timey. Like we're just smaller, a little bit more salt of the earth here.
And suit and ties don't work necessarily
Yeah,
unless there's a
yeah.
reason for it.
Carhartts, Wranglers.
Yeah, right, yeah, right. You're gonna come in and you know, and you want to say good morning and crack a joke and
Yeah.
say, what's going on? What's the calls?
Yeah. So two other follow-up questions. One, you had recommended that when we begin the recruitment, move toward a city manager title instead of city administrator. And then the other thing I wanted to confirm or ask is, do you think that after we have the hires not onboarded, but at least hired into the system, do you think November/December would be a good time for us to work on the PD, on your
Yes,
PD?
I think
Okay.
two things along that area. One
Okay.
is that you are not a city manager form of government.
Right.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet.
Because of
It's a
our-
charter issue.
Yeah.
You have to put this before the voters to change the charter
Okay.
to make it a city manager. I think that down the road, if you were to hire a brand new person,
Mhm,
freshly graduated from University of Oregon,
mhm.
I don't think they care one whit because in their mind, they're going to move on anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're going to find someone with several years experience who's looking for maybe what you're going to find is someone who is a deputy
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
city
if
or
Harrisburg had like a deputy, I don't think they
deputy
do.
or perhaps a deputy city recorder or a
Mhm.
planner,
Mhm.
okay, from another city, he says, you know what, I'm ready to take the next step. I think that is how Harrisburg got their city manager before
Mm.
Michelle.
Michelle, I think so.
We was
yeah.
the city planner up in Corvallis.
Mhm.
Oh,
And he was
interesting.
ready for the next step.
Right.
And so he came down. So
John something.
yeah,
Anyway.
I think his name was John.
Yeah, John, but I can't remember his last
His
name.
last
right.
name. Yeah, I worked with him on the networking.
Met him a
Okay.
couple times, yeah.
Nice gentleman, very good planner. He's also the one that helped them with their planning things
Okay.
too. So
Hmm.
that's who you might be looking at as someone who is in the planning world. You can be an associate planner for 20 years before
Wow.
you get to the level of senior planner.
Oh,
Phew.
wow.
Wow.
About
Yeah.
sitting in the trenches in a cubicle,
Mhm.
Yeah.
planning
Oof.
Yeah.
for 19 and a half years before you finally get your chance. That is why and they work with city administrators and city managers
Mhm.
all the time. So
Right.
they are aware of that. And that's probably where you're going to find the next person from Monroe is out of that thing. So you're going to find a person who's a planner, someone who's worked with engineers, someone who's worked with all of those different things.
Mhm.
They're going to be looking for an experienced front-end staff, administrative staff, and they're going to be looking for an experienced utility. And that's what we're working on right now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is
Right.
getting
Thank you.
all of you to that, getting you all to that point.
Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for developing our team.
So,
So that we'll be successful.
hopefully what will happen is that you will have that team available to you when this next person starts. But I think that that's what you want. And the second part of that is that they will already be very much aware of city manager, form of government, et cetera, and that we aren't. The pitfalls of that is what occurred in the previous 20 years.
Mhm.
Right.
And a lot of folks won't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to consider is finding the best person who's willing to take the risk versus someone who says, whatever, I'm only going to be here for a few years anyway.
Yeah.
Right. You want to find someone that's moldable, that wants to grow with you
Right.
and may want to be here for a while,
Mhm.
5 years,
That would be nice.
that would be nice.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. This is great. I love it. Personal handbook update. I know that's on the back burner for now, probably.
It just got resurrected and it's probably a good thing because CIS, the laws keep changing. And so CIS has a brand new revision, which is how I got to know that. I think we fleshed out what we want to do enough that we could get the new handbook with the CIS revisions. It's because of Paid Oregon and then the Oregon legislature revised how Paid Oregon, what the conditions were. Because we had FEMLA, OFEMLA, and Oregon Paid all
Yeah.
coexisting with each other and
Yeah.
it was making a mess. So
Yep.
the Oregon legislature refined it and so CIS refined their books. I'm
Mhm.
glad they did, but our previous utility person was ready to use that for the entire year to get paid and not work. So,
Boy.
Mhm.
Oh, boy. Looks like we have audit on our agenda.
That was the finance piece.
Oh, okay.
So I went from HR to finance.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I just wanted to let you know
yeah.
that we had some difficulty. We are in the process next week, next Tuesday. I have Ryan coming, who's been working with us, to finish up the previous audit.
Okay.
We had to put an extension in and then move us into the next audit, which Dawn has already given all the information.
Nice.
We had some miscommunication earlier in the year, but I think we're back on track.
Okay.
Part of it was how we utilize our street funds and all these different things. We had placed them into public works, which is where it belongs.
Yeah.
But the truth is, the state of Oregon over the last 2 years
Oh, gosh.
has come down hard on separating every single fund we have.
Mhm.
Wait, they don't want us to
They
break it into.
want us to break it out.
Oh,
as a
but we
completely
were
separate-
we
I
were
thought that's
creating
what we did in
buckets.
the-
We did
latest
for
budget.
water. That's what we did. We got
Mhm.
water and everyone's go, woohoo.
Mhm.
For the streets. The streets was
Oh.
listed and the
Yeah.
funds went into that, but
Oh.
what Brian wanted was a complete breakout of
Okay.
all the things that we expended street on and then carry that part forward.
Okay.
So that's what the issue was.
Okay.
So we're
So
gonna-
it's,
We're gonna
Pending.
resolve that and have that all ready to go next Tuesday. He's actually coming here. We're not gonna do this by Zoom.
oh, cool.
We asked, Dawn and I asked him to come in so we can pick his brain
In the
anyway.
morning or in the afternoon?
I don't know.
Okay.
And so that'll be the day after city council. So when we report on this, we'll say the auditor is going to be in tomorrow to
He'll
wrap up
just
this
be
audit.
in, what he's gonna do is just work with Dawn.
Okay.
This is just mechanical. It's nothing,
Okay.
nothing
Gotcha.
big. Other than we just need to get it finished and done, so we get the USDA off our backs and
Okay.
That would be
everything
nice.
else. It also helps because we have, this year, we did move all of our funds into separate things.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, I know in the
everything
most
is,
recent budget that we,
everything is
swapped it
done the way
around.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay. Other business, set agenda items for next meeting. I did think of another thing that I'd like to mention first before setting next meeting's agenda items. I would love to do a holiday party for our staff and council and
Oh, that
mayor.
would
Like,
be
remember when we did
wonderful.
that, the appreciation party and it was like a little
Yes.
potluck over at the library and everyone brought something. It was like a Mexican fiesta
I
kind of
love
theme.
that. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that
was
we
so
did
fun.
that for Steve because that's what
Yeah.
kind of food we were
Now
told
we
he liked.
well, now we can do it for Dawn and Mark.
Yeah, it was a staff appreciation. It was like a city
I think
administrator.
it should really be a
appreciation.
staff appreciation. I
Okay.
think
No, I
Dawn and
agree.
Mark really do deserve some appreciation and recognition.
Yeah,
They really have been in the trenches doing a lot of hard work
for a long time.
for a long time
Yeah. Okay, so,
without much of a heads up to breathe.
Why don't we do it?
Yeah.
That would be great.
That'd be
This is a
wonderful.
this is a nice venue here.
it is. Could we do a little slideshow of some, I don't know if Mark has like collected any funny pictures from his outings out in the city or
Oh, we
or if you
have.
guys have like pictures
Oh,
of Ned and
we do.
Ned.
that would be so
Ned.
fun. I would love to see what the goings on around town, like all the funny things that make you guys chuckle or sweet things or, you
Or
know.
just like the horse.
Oh, I
uh,
love Missy.
The horse out there though, that was nice. So I talked to, I said, no, you won't get fined.
Wait, who?
This is Curtis Peeler. Curtis is Shay Peeler. They live on Ash Street.
Oh,
A horsey showed up. You cannot have horses in town as much as I love horses.
is Keith just outside the city limits?
They're inside city limits.
Wait, what about Keith though, up the street?
No, he's out of, he's
Oh,
outside
okay.
city limits.
Okay, so they,
somebody that used to walk a horse around town.
That's Missy. Yeah, Keith,
Keith and
yeah.
Missy.
So what are
That's
our,
okay,
Oh, okay.
as long as they clean up after themselves.
Yeah.
what are our feelings about having it on like a Sunday?
Which Sunday are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking, wait,
I
looking
would
ahead.
hate for Steve to have to come into Monroe on a day off.
Oh, my wife would love it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Because what does the staff want to do? I mean, do they want to?
Yeah.
I
what would-
figured
yeah.
after working a whole day coming back and I don't know,
Yeah.
I just,
Well,
I
would you
can, I
mind
can
checking
always
with them?
ask.
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
you know.
I was
You-
thinking, so ask them what they thought about like December 8th or December 15th,
Okay.
maybe.
Those are good.
Sure.
dates.
Yeah, those are both Sundays.
Okay.
It could be in the afternoon or late afternoon.
Okay.
And we got the playground out here for kids. Well, my kids
Yeah.
are kind of big for it now, but
Oh, I cannot do December 15th.
okay.
Sorry.
So December 8th.
Okay,
Sorry.
Yeah, fine.
okay.
The other option is to do it on a weekday or I mean, do it after work.
After work.
Or you could even do it, I mean, I know like a lot of the counselors work and stuff, but you know, if it's a party for those, you know, staff appreciation, I mean, we could just find some money in the budget to
Shut down early.
have lunch provided and, you know, they kind of don't work, but.
Yeah, I mean, I
have
would
a
love.
Work party.
I would love to make it separate outside of their work
That's what
schedules,
I'm
just so it
thinking
feels a
too.
bit more like this is a party,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
don't
like,
have to go back to work
Yeah.
afterwards, you know. you just-
yeah.
I know, it's-
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, though. It would be.
It depends on the
convenient, but-
staff,
Yeah.
because,
Yeah, I know, I get that.
And I do from time to
I
time.
mean,
take
as
them
much
out
as I
to
like my
lunch.
coworkers, I see
Pay for
them
their
every
lunch.
day and I
Mhm.
don't want to do stuff
Dude,
outside of work.
We should
with
set
them.
up an appreciation budget.
You know, that was one of the things, you know, we did have a little extra money. We can always pull from some of the, we have some official
There's some event
council and
money.
event, and we have a little bit of things that we can do. We do have event money.
We should use that if we're, I
If we
mean,
want
you
to make
shouldn't
a
have to
city
pay for
event,
it.
yeah, it
Ye-
was not
Cause we
specific,
can't pay for it. We can't do bounce houses anymore.
not according to our fine insurance company.
So would you mind checking on December 8th?
I would be happy.
And would a Sunday truly work for you and
That
Lynn?
would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Counselor Rich, how does that feel to you?
That's what I mean.
Thank you for suggesting it, Mayor.
My wife would thoroughly enjoy that.
Okay.
Very good.
I think it should be staff appreciation with a holiday spin, just to be festive. I mean, you know, like, it doesn't have to be holiday-ish, but it's the time of the holidays.
Yes, it
Just-
is.
If somebody wants to show up dressed like a candy cane, I wouldn't cry.
Or one of those wonderful sweaters, knitted
Oh!
sweaters that are.
Ugly sweater. Can it be an ugly sweater party? Staff appreciation party?
Oh my.
I think so. I'm sure someone will wear one anyway.
Okay.
And
but
Mark will just wear
that
what
would-
Mark
So
wears.
that's what the
so, you know,
theme
he's
is now.
Ugly sweater staff
Ugly
appreciation
sweater.
party.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just check with the staff that they wanna.
I'll check with them. I'll check with them. They'll let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Cause like I said,
Well, I think the one that we had that you remember, I think that we had that on a Saturday, I think. It was a
Yeah.
Saturday.
And that
Yeah.
worked fine. And
Okay.
it worked fine for me. Sundays afternoons work fine.
Okay.
us
If you don't
so-
mind driving into town after, okay,
No.
like spending a week, half a weekend in Corvallis, and it doesn't feel like a chore to have to come in on your day off.
It's nice
Okay.
because things that just get you out of the house that you're not,
Mhm.
but as long as I don't have to come down here and do minutes or something. I'm fine.
No, we won't make you do that.
party minutes.
Party minutes, there we go.
Party
Nice.
minutes. No.
Steve threw down 7 cores. Sorry, I know you would not drink cores. You would drink something better.
But yeah, we could either do a potluck or something. I mean, we could talk to Amy. I know they have like
yeah.
a small room over at the
That's a good idea.
Long
The little
Timber
Yeah,
or
they do.
something. I mean,
Mhm.
That's a great idea.
Here, there, whatever.
yeah.
Well, what I'll do first is I'll ask staff to see if a Sunday afternoon
Mhm.
would work for them,
Okay,
and specifically December 8th.
thank
What are
you.
you guys doing December 8th?
And if that date doesn't work, I can be flexible around other ones. Just December 15th is already a
Okay.
thing. Sorry, but,
Yeah, you're fine.
It gives everyone
Mhm.
along gives everyone, what, 6 weeks to plan,
On it.
so.
Mhm. They get
Okay.
their ugly
As
sweater.
long, Dawn,
Yes.
Dawn will have it on her calendar, and as long as Marika gets it on hers, then we're in business.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, setting agenda items for next meeting. So we'll want an update on the hires.
Yes.
Right? Okay, next meeting agenda. Topics.
New hire update.
Yeah, new hire update.
We'll probably want to review the PD and the things for the city administrator, start looking at that,
Okay,
having a discussion about that.
okay,
I'll bring up a draft of the personnel policy, that CSI plus. Instead of PTO, we wanted to do vacation and sick leave.
Mm,
That would be the
right.
biggest change in that.
sorry.
And then I can update the audit will be over with. I mean, we should all be finished with that, so.
And then
Probably
add-
on to something else at that point, library or
Right.
some other thing that deals with money.
and then maybe we can hammer out some more details about a staff party.
Yes,
Okay. I love that idea of maybe doing it at the Long Timber. Maybe they could do like catering and just like, not catering, but just set out a little banquet and it could be, you know what I mean? Either could be plated where we each order something, or they could just set out food kind of buffet style and we
That
all.
would be nice. I think staff would truly, that I think folks.
I mean,
would
I
truly
feel like it would
appreciate.
be nice to just, yeah, because I mean, potluck is fun and nice, but it's like,
It's work.
it's work.
It's always
Yeah.
work.
So
yes.
it's like kind
Mhm.
of nice to be like, hey, just show up here and we got food and drinks and
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's
And
a
plus
great
we'll
idea.
have 2 new staff
that's a really good point. That is,
and their spouses.
okay, that's great.
So
I like
I
that
think
idea.
I think that would be a great welcome to Monroe, and we really are, we're just a team. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just how things work.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to add to our agenda for next time?
no,
Okay.
not for this committee.
It's great to see you, Counselor Rich.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
I know.
Glad to see you here. And I
And
am,
are we?
we are adjourned.